Calaroga Shark Media.
Hello and welcome to a special bonus episode of Palace Intrigue. The much-anticipated reunion between Harry and Charles was notably brief, lasting only about 30 minutes. Photographed upon his arrival at Clarence House shortly after 3:15 p.m. following a 10-hour flight, escorted by police. This marked Harry's first encounter with King Charles since the coronation 9 months prior. Despite the brief 30-minute length, it is notable that Charles made the decision to postpone his helicopter journey to Sandringham in order to have the 30-minute meeting with Prince Harry. An insider highlighted the King's adjustment of his schedule for Harry's visit as a noteworthy act, emphasizing Charles' usual punctuality, but recognizing the importance of accommodating Harry's last-minute trip from California. This has been interpreted as a promising sign for the family's dynamics. An insider told The Sun, Charles always keeps a tight schedule and had a planned itinerary to leave London to rest and recuperate in Norfolk. He is very fastidious about timekeeping, but it was significant that he delayed the flight to Sandringham when he knew Harry was visiting. After all, the Duke of Sussex had flown all the way from California at short notice, and he accepted the gesture. There is cause for optimism. Meghan Markle stayed behind in Montecito, as the couple now lacks a UK residence after their departure from Frogmore Cottage. After the meeting, the King and Camilla proceeded to their Sandringham estate, with a helicopter taking off from Buckingham Palace and arriving in Norfolk shortly thereafter. PR expert Ryan McCormick told the Mirror that Meghan would not be received well by the public unless she shows the utmost concern for both Charles and Harry. Ryan said when various news outlets reported that Meghan Markle was staying in LA while Harry rushed to Prince Charles' side in wake of his cancer diagnosis. On Twitter, both hashtag Meghan Markle and hashtag Markle were not trending favorably. Like any well-known figure, Markle's actions are constantly scrutinized. If she doesn't join Harry soon, speculation will build as to why, and rumors will begin swirling. McCormick also pointed out the optics of Meghan not having visited her own father, Thomas Markle. Harry reportedly stayed the night at a luxury hotel in London and did not see his brother. Royal expert Pauline McLaren doesn't think Harry will stay long, and has a good reason. She told Daily Express US, Harry will want to get back to his family, but also, were he to make this a longer visit, people would start to worry about the seriousness of King Charles' diagnosis. It's also worth noting that Harry presumably will not be visiting Kate, to whom he once was close. We share that note without passing judgment, as it is not known if Harry asked or didn't ask, or if Kate would want that. Piers Morgan was a little more direct, tweeting, William would rather shoot himself than see his traitor brother. After dedicating 3 weeks to care for his family during Kate's recovery from abdominal surgery, Prince William is resuming his royal responsibilities. The future king presided over an investiture at Windsor Castle, followed by his attendance at the London Ambulances fundraising gala tonight. At this annual gala, William is poised to address King Charles' recent cancer diagnosis in his speech, marking his first public comments on the matter. William plans to mention his father's health situation briefly, prioritizing the gala's charitable mission while acknowledging the public's concern for the king since his treatment began on Monday. A source told the Daily Mail, the prince has always made clear that his priority is to support his wife and family for the time being, and he did not put a timescale on that. He will make a return to duties on Wednesday, but you should not expect to see him again for a bit after that. Palace Intrigue will be right back. In the Daily Mail, Richard Kay writes, it is not hard to imagine the confusion of emotions that will be flooding through Prince William's mind today. Sadness and anxiety for his father's illness, but also bewilderment at the enormity of the challenge now facing him and the inevitable sacrifices he will be forced to make. The parallels with those that confronted his beloved grandmother more than 70 years ago are striking. The then Princess Elizabeth was 25 and a young mother when she so unexpectedly succeeded her father as monarch. She and Prince Philip had every reason to hope they had a good 10 years of family life ahead of them before the responsibility of the throne would intervene. William is 16 years older than his grandmother was at that pivotal moment, and his children are older, but his sense of expectation for the future would have been no less. And while he is not about to be king, his life in every other way is going to change. Suddenly, all of his and Kate's meticulously thought-out plans, in which their children's welfare was the priority, are now looking vulnerable. What makes the uncertainty all the greater is the unforgiving nature of the king's condition. Never can life in the goldfish bowl of the royal family have felt quite so lonely or so perilous. For William, the pressure is doubly intense because the extra burden that will come while his father undergoes treatment for cancer will have to be met alone. Quite how much of his father's schedule will now pass to the prince is not clear, but the news that he will step up comes with an added distraction: Prince Harry's decision to hasten to his father's side. As he grapples with his new responsibilities, William's thoughts will almost certainly turn to how his grandmother would have dealt with such a princely incursion. For now, at least, William is going to have to cover a lot more ground than he usually prefers. He is almost certain to take on his father's role in receiving, arriving, and departing foreign diplomats. He will be hoping that his father's recovery will, in time, allow a partial return to those days of domestic happiness that many say will make him a modern and rounded sovereign. However, there are two family issues which may determine that assessment: Andrew and Harry. On Prince Andrew, he has firmly supported his father's position that the Duke of York cannot return to frontline royal duties. But where Harry is concerned, his view has diverged from the king's. While Charles has been torn by the conflict between his sons and has longed for a rapprochement, William is convinced that trust, the basis of any relationship, has been utterly destroyed. Harry's arrival will test William's resolve. Will he agree to see him and in time agree to a rapprochement as his father surely wishes? Or will the status quo remain? Palace Intrigue remains on a modified schedule. We'll do bonus episodes as events warrant, in addition to our usual early morning release. And there you have it. If you'd like to email us, our address is thepalaceintrigue@gmail.com. Please follow us on Spotify or Apple or your app of choice if you want to get these updates in a timely manner. And hit subscribe if you're on YouTube. I'm Mark Francis. My thanks to John McDermott. This is Palace Intrigue. Good times.